Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here with a budget-friendly wig review for you guys. I'm really excited to be showing you a piece by Zury Sis. This is called Tyma, and it's in the color FFT Honey Blonde. This is the card. Tyma by Zury Sis. This is a little bit of a different wig review for you guys, but I am constantly being asked if there are any budget-friendly options out there, since a lot of what I review are the major name brands that tend to be pretty pricey. And so I'm always on the hunt for a great option that's a budget-friendly piece, and this one totally qualifies. So I have some sticking on my lipstick. If you guys want to know more about this piece, I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to tell you the pros and cons to purchasing budget-friendly pieces like this, and I've got some future videos to do to show you how to style it. But if you want to know more about it in the beginning, then stick around and I'll tell you all about it. So I purchased this piece with my own money. Nobody sent it to me. This is not being sponsored by anyone. A wig friend, I can't call him a wig sister because he is a male, but he messaged me on Instagram and suggested that I check this wig out. He thought it was a lot like Belle Tress Dolce & Dolce, and I think he's right. There are some real similarities between the two, and it was under $40. I actually paid under $30 because I was able to get it on sale. But I think the price right now, actually it's up on my computer screen. Right now, as I film this, it is $35.93. That's how much this is right now. Now there is shipping, $4.99, flat rate shipping, but still under $50. This is a great piece with really good quality, but I'm going to get into some of the challenges that pieces like this bring. But let me show you, first of all, the packaging, because it's a little different than what we're used to. And I do, if you're finding me because you looked up Zury Sis and you don't watch any of my other reviews, you're going to wonder why I'm going into such depth. And it's because I mainly do major name brand wig reviews, synthetic wigs that are generally marketed toward the Caucasian white women market, much more expensive than these pieces. We're talking hundreds of dollars, and they tend to come with different cap features in different packaging. So I'd like to give a little context here on this particular one. So this is the packaging that it came in. It's got cardboard to keep the form, and then it's just a big plastic bag, and really nothing fancy. And so that is one thing to be aware of that's a little bit different than you may be used to. Let's take a look at this one from all sides before I start telling you all about it. It's really long, quite long. And the fibers feel incredible. So this is a heat-friendly piece, but the difference between this heat-friendly and the ones that you may be used to by Belle Tress or Raquel Welch is it's actually high heat-friendly. You can take heat up to 400 degrees with this one. Now, I don't have a ton of experience with these types of wigs, and I cannot speak to longevity. But as I've been doing my research, as I've been paying attention to what other people have been saying, my understanding is that these actually do pretty well as far as longevity. The fibers definitely feel a little bit, they feel more like Belle Tress fibers than Raquel Welch. They're very soft and very silky. And yeah, they feel so good. I'm really surprised at the quality for the price. Now, I can't speak to whether or not it's going to last months and months, but you're paying less than $50. So I think if you get a couple of months of wear out of this one, that you're doing pretty well. Even if you get 1 month out of wearing this one for $50. Let's talk about where I purchased this and some of the things you should be aware of. So I purchased this one from an online retailer called Ebony Line. I will put a link in the description so you can go check it out. Now, Ebony Line is, some people refer to sellers like this as beauty store sellers, beauty store wigs. Sometimes I'll hear it referred to. And so they're more budget friendly, and they're not generally ready-to-wear wigs, meaning you're not going to take it out of the box, plop it on your head, and go, like a lot of those more expensive wigs are. The first thing you need to be aware of is this comes with lace that needs to be cut. So it has a lace front, and that lace probably came down to here on me. So you have to be prepared to cut the lace off of wigs like this. I did not do a very good job of filming myself cutting the lace off of this one. I need to look at that footage again. If it's even decent, I'll tack it onto the end. But I didn't speak during it. I was trying to do it so I could maybe speed it up for you guys. I don't know if I did a good job, but let me give you a couple of resources if you're new to this. First of all, I reviewed Vivica Fox Orlando last year sometime, and that one had lace that needed to be cut. I went super in depth with Orlando. I showed you how to cut the lace. I talked about it. I mean, I really went in depth on that one. So you can go watch me cut the lace on that one. My other suggestion would be to find other reviews of like Zury Sis, Bobby Boss, Outre, spelled O-U-T-R-E. Those types of wigs are generally marketed to the women of color market. So African American market, black women. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I really don't know the right terms to use. I'm doing this in the best of intentions, so I hope I don't offend anybody. But that's normally the market that these are marketed to, and most of us understand that the women of color market, I mean, those women rock wigs all the time. It's just like, I look up to women who can just what's called slay wigs and just look so amazing, and they know how to cut the lace, they know how to lay it down, they know how to melt it onto their skin, they know how to pluck the part, they know how to just do everything. My hope is that I will get some skills in this area, and I'll bring you another video where I will show you how you can do some things with this wig to make it look a little more natural. But in those videos, when they do reviews, they tend to show everything. They show how they cut the lace and all of those things. So if you really need help, I would recommend you go look up some of those name brands, and I'm sure you'll find videos where they show you how they cut the lace. In a future video, I plan to review more wigs like this. I will try to make sure I do one where I show you how to do it, but I know that there's stuff out there for you that will help you. Let's talk about how this wig is constructed. So first of all, the lace will need to be cut, and the lace is very different from the lace that comes on our ready-to-wear wigs. It's much softer, more flexible, a little bit stretchable, so it's not the hard, stiff lace that we're used to, which is really good when it comes to having to cut it, but there is a con to that kind of lace. And the con is that it doesn't always lay super flat on your forehead. Because it's not stiff, it does generally need to be adhered if you want the flattest, most seamless look. So if you're not used to adhering your wigs with things like It Stays or Ebin Spray, which I've reviewed and I love, Got to Be is another thing people will use, then if you want to start diving into wigs like this, you're probably going to have to learn how to do that. The other thing to keep in mind with this one is it has a very deep and very skinny parting space. So this is where the parting space is on here, way over to the side. Now this parts from the right to the left. For reference, on more of the ready-to-wear wigs like Raquel Welch, Estetica, Ellen Villa, John Renault, all of those when you get a monopart wig, those tend to part from the left going to the right. So this one has the parting on the opposite side. And let's take a look at that parting space, because it is extremely narrow and, like I said, very, very deep. So that's your parting space right there. So for reference, when I put this like straight on, it's way over to the side. So that's your parting space. There's your lace front. It does have ear tabs that actually have the lace all the way over the ear tabs. Has combs on the sides. So you've got a comb here. You've got a comb in the back right there. You do have an adjustable nape, and it has hook adjusters. It is more of an extended nape. And so you've got 3 combs, and you can adjust it. This runs large. So I have it cinched in, and I could probably cinch it in quite a bit more. So I would say this is going to fit someone up to probably a 23-inch circumference. It definitely runs big. There's really good stretch on this as well. I get, you know, extra cap up in here. So I would say these are definitely big head friendly. The ear tabs come all the way down here on me, so I get really good coverage with these ear tabs. And one of the things, when you get a lace that goes all the way around to the ear tab, you can see how it's poking up right there. If you want the flattest look possible on the sides, then you really do have to adhere it. That is a skill that is learned. It is not something I'm even very good at right now, adhering all the way down to the sides, because one of the challenges I have is I have bio hair when I'm not buzzing it, which I'm not right now, on the sides here, and so it's hard to adhere over your bio hair. So one of the things that you can do is you can blend your bio hair, which one of the reasons I'm growing my hair out right now is so I can practice with blending and doing some different styles. So you can pull your bio hair out and then sort of blend it in, and then you don't have to worry about that lace showing. So if you have some bio hair, that would be really great. Now, this wig is considered to have transparent HD lace. Sometimes wigs in this market are very kind of a beigey brown. They're more tinted, and they tend to look very obvious and very dark on someone with light skin. And so that is something that you'll want to be careful of if you want to start looking at wigs from Ebony line, from Sam's Beauty is another one that I've purchased from. Then you're going to want to try to get the ones with the transparent lace. And even then, it may be just a little bit too dark. So I find that the parting space on here, first of all, I think I need to pluck it to be able to really see that part line. And it is just a little bit dark. So I would want to put face powder or some makeup on that to really make it look more natural. And then the lace here, I may or may not have cut it back too far. I'm not really sure. I'm really new at this, but it is just a little, it looks okay, but you can see the knotting. Can you see that when I hold still? So if you want it to be the most, it's not really bad. I've seen worse knotting on ready-to-wear wigs. But if you want it to look the most natural, then you'll want to take some, you know, powder, some foundation, some root makeup kind of stuff and cover those up just a little bit, and that will help you. Something else I want you to be aware of is that it does have a lot of flyaways. Now, when I have watched those videos from the women who are very experienced with these kind of wigs, they almost always take heat to them to tame the flyaways. One of the things that I see used a lot on wigs like this is a hot comb. So I've talked with you guys about hot airbrush in the past. A hot comb is another accessory, and I actually have one, and I have had one for over a year, and I've never used it. So I plan to take that hot comb to this one and see if I can tame the flyaways. And there is a part of this, let me show it to you, right here, that really wants to sort of pop up. Can you see that? So what I want to do is I want to take the hot comb and see if I can tame that down a little bit. I will do a Tip Tuesday. I will film it. I will show you what I do. I'm learning too, though, so please don't look to me as being the expert. I'm just trying to figure it out and bring you guys good information. So you can take high heat to this one up to 400 degrees. And so that is really useful if you're trying to make some adjustments or changes to the style. You know, getting it flat on the top is one of those things. Taking care of any flyaways or pop-ups, those kinds of things. Heat will really help with that. You can also add curl to it if you want to, if you're good at curling heat-friendly fibers. I'm not good at that personally. They don't curl exactly the same as human hair, but it is an option for you guys. So, let's talk about density. I'm trying to think, I'm kind of going all over the place here, but let's talk about density. So this wig is a moderate density piece. It has a good amount of hair, but it doesn't have a lot of hair. It's not super dense or thick. And so when you put it back like in a ponytail, you can see it's a really nice ponytail. It's not too heavy. It's not too light. Really, really nice. So this is one you could wear in a ponytail. You could put it in braids. You could trim the length. It also doesn't have permatease. I actually don't think wigs in this kind of genre of wig have permatease. I think permatease is a product of the ready-to-wear kind of marketed to white women market. And so you won't find any permatease, any kind of crimpy fibers, nothing to give this poof. So it's very flat to the head and it lays really flat. So it's definitely not poofy. You're not going to feel overwhelmed if you're pretty new to wigs with all of this volume. It really doesn't have a ton of volume. If you want volume, you're not getting volume with this one, unless I think maybe if you, I don't actually know how you would, because even if you take heat to it to try to get lift, there just isn't permatease to hold that or really any body in this hair. It feels very soft and silky. Another thing to keep in mind, if you're going to explore the wigs in this area, there are different textures. So you've got soft and silky texture, which mimics more like a Caucasian woman's hair, more like the ready-to-wear wigs that a lot of us are used to. And then they also have a more textured or yaki texture, which mimics a little bit more of the women of color's hair that's a little bit coarser, you know, a little bit kind of rougher feeling. And so that is something to be aware of as well. All of these wigs are just a little bit different. So it isn't an easy place to start and just go start purchasing whatever you like. You do have to be aware of the color of the lace, the type of hair texture. That doesn't mean that you can't wear them or work with them, but it just means the further away from your kind of natural hair you get, the more work that you'll have to do to make it natural for you, but it's all doable. All right, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. So what I want you to be aware of is that I'm going to be doing some additional videos as I learn how to work with wigs like this. So stay tuned for a Tip Tuesday where I show you how to work with this, where I show you how to maybe adhere it, make it look natural. I think that there's a lot of styling opportunity with this one. You can do ponytails, you can do updos, but just keep in mind the hair is relatively, I would say it's silky, but it's a heavy denier, so it's really straight. And it's, so if you want to do like messy updos and things like that, you're going to have to work with it because it is so straight and stiff, but I still think it can be done. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I will put links in the description so you can go check this out. One of the challenges I find with these wigs is finding a color that will work for me. A lot of the time, wigs in this market that are a color that I would wear are almost always out of stock. I got very, very lucky to get this one. So again, this was, I think it was FFT. I'm looking for the card. FFT Honey Blonde. That's what this one is. I don't know what FFT stands for. I tried to find it and I couldn't. But you've got a really dark root. And then it kind of melts into this beautiful honey blonde with some really light blonde highlights, some golden honey, and the rooting is very dark. That is really common with these styles. A lot of the times they just don't have a huge variety of colors. They tend to have a lot more fashion colors and nothing that's as natural as you might be looking for in the ready-to-wear market. And they rarely have ones that are unrooted. So normally you're going to find quite a dark root. Not always, and sometimes you can get lucky. But if you're looking for something, or maybe you're going to buy this piece, I can tell you right now, this color is sold out. I actually did a quick out of the box on Instagram, which I will tack on to the end of this video so you can see it straight out of the box with the lace that hadn't been cut. And a few people watched that video and went and purchased it immediately, and it sold out really quickly. So if you're curious and you want this color, I would just check back periodically. Some retailers sometimes do have an option where you can sign up for emails to be notified when something comes back in stock. I don't think Ebony Line has that, but they also may not be the only one who carry this style. So you can just keep watching for it to come back in stock because there really aren't a huge variety of colors for you to choose from, especially if you don't want to go into the pinks and the purples and the blues and the fashion colors, which they actually have in this style. Other than that, it is really fun. I think if you are willing to work with the wig, if there's a fly flying around me, if you're willing to work with the wig, if you're willing to cut lace, if you're willing to adhere a wig so that you get the most flat application, if you're willing to maybe take heat to a piece to take care of any like stuff like this, then I would not be afraid of purchasing one of these. It's a great price. And if you want to practice with a wig, there's some really great priced wigs that actually look really realistic. So don't shy away from this if you're operating on a budget and you want to try something like this. I think there's some really good ones out there. So again, Tyma, T-Y-M-A by Zury Sis. Let me know if you guys have questions. Let me know if you know some other great budget-friendly wigs that maybe I can check out. I can't afford to buy every single wig that people recommend to me or want a review of, but if I can somehow get some of these other retailers to work with me, maybe Ebony Line would be willing to send me a few wigs to show to you guys. I'm working on them. They still haven't responded to my request on Instagram, but I'll keep trying because I'd love to bring you more variety, and I hate for it to be dependent on my ability to afford them. What? Wow, this fly just wants me. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. All right, everyone, I am sticking on the video I made cutting the lace. I did speed it up a little bit because here's the deal, you guys. I am not experienced with this. So I'm showing it to you, but I'm also saying this is like the first time I've ever cut lace on my head like this, but I've watched tons of videos of people with experience with these kinds of wigs doing it this way. So I thought I'd give it a try. Something to keep in mind, the lace on these wigs is very different than the lace on the higher end synthetics like John Renault, Estetica, Ellen Villa. It's a lot softer, more flexible, and stretchy. So you cut it differently than you would. And here I put my hair back, which I should have done in the first place because I was having trouble keeping the hair out of the way. So I thought I'd show you what I did, but please watch other videos. And as I get more experience and better at this, I'll definitely give you a better quality cutting the lace video. But for now, I just wanted you to see what I did. I bought these teeny little scissors because that is what was recommended in a lot of the videos that I watched. So that's why I did it this way. So take this with a grain of salt and please watch more videos. All right, as promised, here is the out of the box that I put on Instagram. And the feedback I got was incredible. So, kind of fun to be able to show it to you. You'll be able to see it looks just like I showed it here out of the box, except you will see the lace. So you've seen all this already, so I won't keep talking. By the way, I am seeing it for the first time here, so you're getting my genuine reaction. I was really surprised, and pleasantly so. The hairline is really good on this, you guys. I think it would be great in ponytails for sure, especially if you could get that front adhered.